Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing, Wednesday, August 10th. On the impact map, lots of monsoonal moisture streaming up along the Nevada-Utah border, and on either side, a moist, wet day throughout most of the Great Basin, and probably getting up into some of our larger fire activity up in the central mountains of Idaho today, tomorrow. The monsoonal moisture starts shifting eastwards and starts shrinking gradually, but we're in a moist air mass for the next couple of days. Make no mistake about that. You can see on the left the wide swath of moisture covering much of Nevada and into parts of western Idaho. A lot of these lighter greens are a quarter to a half inch, pockets of an inch of rain. A lot of lightning across the southern and western Great Basin, but not a lot of starts. Shows how moist things are. Most of our starts were where the moisture still hadn't quite settled in across parts of southeastern Idaho and even dried out a little bit in parts of southern Utah. But overall, you can see how much precip we've had in the last 7 days on the left, and percent of normal in this purple shade, 600% of normal precipitation. Oddly, it's the typical monsoonal belt in the east and south that was kind of on the outside edge. They had cloudy skies, somewhat higher humidity, but not as much rainfall. Same for the central mountains of Idaho. That's going to change. You can see the fields have become quite moist. No more areas in the red. It's mostly in the upper single digits to mid-teens, even upper teens, where you see these areas of green up in the central mountains of Nevada. The driest actually is in our eastern areas. And you can see why. The high pressure area here settled in. We do see a good plume of monsoonal moisture coming up from the south on the satellite imagery. And this is going to be the main player for today. There's that monsoonal moisture getting all the way up into our northern areas. The humidity comes up, so these browns will become yellows. Lightning will be on the wetter side here, but it's just as you get on the other side of the Salmon River that lightning is drier for the northern Rockies areas. There'll be some breezes on the left, still in the 15 to 25 mile an hour range for a while this afternoon, but you see the humidity's coming up to near above 30% in the north, even higher in the south, and there's the precipitation, widespread quarter to half inch amounts on these purple shades, an inch to an inch and a half of rain across the higher terrain of eastern Nevada, and even some pockets in Idaho and Utah as well. So a moist day. The moisture lingers here on the left in this greenish shade, and this whole black area shows where humidity is definitely above normal, so no big changes on the 7 day. The humidity high starting to dry out a little bit across northwestern Nevada. No significant winds. There is more precipitation in eastern Nevada on northwards and eastwards, covering most of the eastern Great Basin, along with high humidity. Friday, that map stays almost unchanged. A bit of drier air across Nevada. Some breezes over there. We'll have to start seeing maybe some holdovers and some heavier fuels. That's where the driest humidity is. Otherwise, high humidity elsewhere. 3 day precip totals through here. And then the Saturday outlook, deeper monsoonal moisture continues here. You see the areas of green, but drier air in the north. And that drier air in the north, as it goes into Sunday, you start to see PSAs here in the Payette and the Salmon Shallow start going over to brown as we get into the weekend and early part of next week, while some monsoonal moisture still lingers in the south. 7 day precip totals shown here. And the 8 to 14 day outlook shows heat continues across the Pacific Northwest and western areas. And the monsoonal moisture, again, still in place. This is August 17th to the 23rd, all the way up into southern Idaho. So really no significant change in our pattern. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.